ahead on News 4, a fight over road space turns deadly after one man grabs the club and goes on the attack. 3 men are caught impersonating police officers with what real police call dangerous intentions. And Mike Tyson is headed for the Chamber of Horrors. It's all next on News 4.
Live from WFOR TV, this is News 4 South Florida.
We count on doctors to save our lives, to be there during an emergency. But police say a phony doctor was treating patients at South Beach hotels, putting their lives in danger. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ann Roberts. Camera Marshall has the night off. New at 11, they plan dreamy vacations, trips that turn into a nightmare when someone gets sick. But add to that the horror of knowing you were treated by a so-called doctor who isn't a doctor at all. Our top story is exclusive, and News 4's Aline Sergani is live on Miami Beach with more for us. Aline?
And as we first told you at 6 o'clock, we need to point out in no way are the hotels here on the beach responsible for this alleged scam. And since 6 o'clock, News 4 has also learned it's virtually impossible to protect yourself from these phony doctors. That's because apparently no one is protecting you. This is where the phony doctors reportedly made their fast buck. Miami Beach.
I was surprised that something happened, or that something can happen like that.
Police say this is the man who posed as the phony doctor. He is Ogre Vega Nunez, who used the name of a real doctor, Dr. Jorge George, to scam his patients. Police say Nunez treated sick guests at Miami Beach hotels and even prescribed medication. But police caught up with him here at the Ocean Beach Resort.
When we were contacted by the health department from the state of Florida in reference to doctors practicing without a license in area hotels.
And investigators say this couple is the mastermind behind the scam. William Villafana and his wife Marlene own Doctor's House Call Network, the company that hired Nunez. And that's not all. The couple is now on trial in Orlando for the death of an 11-year-old girl who died after one of their phony doctors treated her. News 4 wanted to know how the Villafanas could be in operation in South Florida when police already shut them down in Orlando.
These clinics are not licensed by the state. A doctor's office is not licensed by the state. The only part of an operation of that nature that is licensed is the physician himself.
Investigators say they're not sure how many people this man scammed, and they fear there are other phony doctors out there. And that's why investigators advise your best bet is to check into an emergency room if you're sick. Now, this investigation is far from over, and rest assured, News 4 will keep you updated. Reporting live, Aline Sergani, News 4, South Florida.
Aline, thank you very much. Meantime, Hialeah police are tipped off to a home invasion before it happens. And when they arrive, they find fake cops about to make their move. The home invasion was allegedly planned for this Hialeah home at West 4th Avenue and 35th Place. Now, detectives searched the neighborhood and found 2 cars with motors running. Inside, these 3 men wearing police caps, real Metro-Dade badges, and armed with semi-automatic weapons. Tonight, they're charged with conspiracy to commit armed home invasion, impersonating police, and weapons violations. Certainly wicked weather swept through West Dade tonight. Lots of rain and heavy winds came crashing through the area. Luckily, it left as quickly as it came, but still branches and debris litter the roads. So what is going on with our weather? Meteorologist Joe Haynes has your holiday forecast. Joe.
Well, Ann, real quick, anytime you have as much humidity and as a high a temperature we had temperatures in the 90s this afternoon, you can see severe weather in the form of thunderstorms. You just need something to kick them off. Well, this afternoon we had the sea breeze come right off the east coast, form one thunderstorm here. It collided with another one. Then they cruised right down the old sea breeze right through town, getting us some severe weather. And the problem is trying to forecast that. That's the hard thing. But tomorrow I do think we'll see scattered thunderstorms around. Again, temperatures in the 90s, so watch out for some of those stray severe thunderstorms. We'll talk more about that here in just a few minutes. Back to you, Ann.
Okay, Joe, thank you very much. And on this eve of the 4th of July, we hope many of you have a safe and happy holiday, but it's bound to happen. Someone will be careless and someone will be hurt. Fireworks stands very busy tonight, as you can imagine, but remember, anything that explodes or flies is illegal. In fact, firefighters even say those seemingly harmless sparklers can actually melt a child's skin. Also, make sure you keep a bucket of water around to douse flames and immerse fireworks after they've been used. A case of road rage in South Florida turns deadly tonight. Police say a man shot and killed a driver who he says cut him off and then beat him up. News 4's Andrew Colton is live at Metro Police headquarters with the latest on this one. Andrew?
And there have been no charges filed yet, in part because investigators are trying to figure out if this may be a case of self-defense. One man is dead, another being questioned after a traffic fight turns deadly in Northwest Dade.
We have a traffic dispute that turns into gunfire, and we have a victim in the middle of the street.
It happens around 5:15 near Northwest 27th Avenue and 23rd Street. This van was apparently cut off by a red Lexus. The drivers from both vehicles get out, exchange words, and then the Lexus driver allegedly starts beating the van driver with the club. Battered and bruised, the van driver limps to the van and gets his gun. While his son tries to stop him, the man fires at the Lexus driver, killing him.
He pulled out the gun, the kid telling, hey, don't pull no gun. We don't need no gun for this.
Leaving the body on the railroad tracks, friends of the victim take off. So do the gunman and his son. But they all return moments later as cops arrive on the scene. The victim this hour, we are told, 36-year-old Eddie Page. And just a few seconds ago, we watched the man, the alleged gunman, be released from police here, which would indicate that no charges are being filed. From what we understand, the state's attorney's office will review this case and decide what will happen next. We're live at Metro Dade Police Headquarters. I'm Andrew Colton, News 4, South Florida.
Okay, Andrew, thanks for that report. School officials are in shock tonight. A man who teaches disabled children in Miami is now indicted for allegedly making and storing an arsenal of weapons in his sprawling home. Police say 60-year-old teacher Christopher Chase and his 34-year-old son Stephen kept a hidden cache in their closet. They had fully automatic machine guns, ammunition rounds, books on how to kill, even homemade silencers, but no permits. Chase teaches at Kelsey Farr Elementary in Northwest Dade. We are learning more about a deadly plot. It all started with a dead body in a car and ended with 2 officers getting shot. Police say Julio Mirabal murdered his girlfriend, then drove her body around. It's believed he committed suicide by essentially picking a gunfight with cops, firing first, hitting Hialeah officer Julian Guerra and Metro Detective Chris McManus. A caller warned Hialeah dispatchers about Mirabal's vow to get himself killed. Officers got this alert just as Mirabal's car pulled up behind them.
They were told that there was a car parked within a few feet of them. Inside the car was a man who had a dead body in the seat next to him, and he was armed with a handgun.
Guerra was released from the hospital today. We understand McManus is getting his hand reconstructed after being shot. It's a nightmare for any parent. Police say they have busted a babysitter for allegedly beating up the children in her care, this in Kendall. You can see the bruises on the children, tough to look at. Police say the babysitter admitted to repeatedly slapping a 3-year-old girl and 1-year-old little boy in the face. Take a look. This is the woman charged with the crime, 21-year-old Leslie Coutrere. She's now behind bars facing 2 counts of child abuse. There are big plans in outer space for Independence Day, and President Clinton finally speaks out about the Paula Jones sex scandal. It's all news that works for your world tonight. President Clinton is adamantly denying all claims that he propositioned Paula Jones while governor of Arkansas. Mr. Clinton's statement to the judge is the president's first formal response to Jones' sexual harassment lawsuit. Jones claims Mr. Clinton exposed himself after summoning her to his hotel room. In Ireland, these masked terrorists tell CBS exclusively that they promise more violence to derail the peace process there. The marching season is coming up, a Protestant parade marking victories over Catholics in battles hundreds of years ago, but these apparently threaten to use it as an excuse for killing. NASA hoping the famed Pathfinder will make an historic walk on Mars tomorrow on Independence Day. Scientists say the planned landing of the tricycle-sized rover will give them more evidence of ancient life on the red planet. This as it takes photos for scientists, much like a tourist, back home. The Miami Seaquarium won't be growing anytime soon. The village of Key Biscayne has won its lawsuit, stopping any expansion there. Originally, Dade County's master plan allowed for the facility to expand and renovate, but people living in the nearby village of Key Biscayne sued, saying the unlimited changes could cause a traffic mess and actually hurt the environment. Tonight, an appeals court ruled in their favor.
That the appellate court ruled that this violated state law was because it was unlimited. There was no limitations as far as what they could build there.
Well, tonight we can tell you the Seaquarium does have the option of appealing to the state Supreme Court. Ready for this? The contest was called Whirl Till You Hurl. That's right. Now see what the winners took home. And a strange twist of fate, a fire station goes up in flames. Here's a look at other stories in the news tonight. College Station, Arkansas. The only fire truck in town is gone tonight. It went up in flames after a fire broke out in the firehouse. Firefighters from other towns had to be called in to douse the flames. Fortunately, no one was injured. Toledo, Iowa. 2 teenage girls break out of a school for troubled kids and terrorize a family living nearby. Police say the 14 and 15-year-old girls walked into a home and held a mother and her 9-year-old son hostage. They threatened them with knives and scissors. San Diego, California. They were hanging on for 12 straight days, riding a roller coaster non-stop, all with the hopes of winning a car. Since no one would say die, all 3 people left on the coaster won. Today, the dizzy riders took their new wheels home. They say they'll stay put for a while. And that's what's happening in the news tonight. There is a lot more ahead on News 4. See why Mike Tyson is being pulled out of one Hall of Fame for a Hall of Shame. And is your child's speech development on target, or are they lagging behind? We're going to show you signs to look for to spot a problem. And the News 4 Shame team uncovers possible poison fountains in several area parks, and tonight we are getting some action on this one. Plus a record day on Wall Street. The Dow Jones Industrials closed at an all-time high, 7,895. It was up more than 100 points. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. News 4 is working to keep your kids from being poisoned at their favorite parks. Take a look. This Spigot at Tropical Park is now painted orange. It has a new warning label. Last night, an exclusive Shame Team investigation exposed several problems at Dade County parks. Now, lead-tainted water flowing from dozens of fountains and faucets, and few, if any, signs warning you about the problem. Well, because of our story, the county is now clearly labeling or disconnecting those contaminated faucets. And we'll keep you posted. A baby's first words are very exciting. Every parent remembers them. But for some children, those words don't come very easily, if at all. If you notice a speech problem, you need to get help for your child right away. News 4 Health Editor Dr. Deanna Lights has more.
Hi, Carlos. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. That was very nice. Thank you.
Sandra Rodriguez is so happy to hear her 3.5-year-old son, Carlos, talk. It's something she just recently heard for the first time.
He always showed me what he needs, not talk.
She took Carlos to the doctor and found out the problem, pervasive developmental disorder, or PDD. It's a disorder that causes a delay in communication. Children may not understand language or, like with Carlos, have trouble talking.
We're seeing a lot of kids with these delays, and we're seeing a lot of kids with the diagnosis of pervasive developmental disorders. We do not know why we've seen a rise in this.
And PDD can lead to other problems.
A lot of times we see children with behavioral problems because they're not communicating. They're becoming frustrated.
No one knows the exact cause of PDD, but what is known is that the earlier these children get help, the better off they'll be. That's why it's so important to diagnose PDD early and enroll children in a speech therapy program right away. In this program at Miami Children's Hospital, many things like playing and music are used to help these children talk.
Carlos, what are we going to do?
Music.
Carlos comes to therapy twice a week. He's been in the program for 4 months and is making progress.
He improved a lot. He is now using 2 to 3 word phrases.
Dr. Deanna Lights, News 4, South Florida.
Good for Carlos. And if you are concerned about your child's language development, please call Miami Children's Hospital. They'd love to hear from you. The number in Dade is 305-661-6511, extension 2980. Still ahead tonight, Joe Haynes will have your complete 4th of July forecast. That's next. And Mike Tyson being teamed up with Hannibal Lecter for a real fright night. We're going to show you where. Stay with us.
This is Channel 4's Neighbors for Neighbors.
I'm Ann Roberts. Lots of teenagers and young adults in South Florida need jobs now. If you're an employer looking for full or part-time help, please call Neighbors for Neighbors at 597-4404. Help your neighbors help themselves. Thank you.
News 4 Weather is sponsored by FP&L.
Joe Haynes here trying to teach me about this ripple effect and why it's tough, why you have one of the toughest jobs in town.
It really, you know, trying to forecast thunderstorms, that's what we're talking about. When one thunderstorm forms, it causes more to form, and that's because of what we call outflow. The rain falls, it brings very cold air from the top of the cloud. This cold air hits the ground, goes out in all directions, and more thunderstorms form than what we know called outflow, like a cold front knocks them off. Is there going to be a quiz? Yes, right after the newscast there. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the forecast for tomorrow. You know, it looks like we'll see more of the same as what we saw today. Now, whether or not we'll see a severe storm, that's a little hard for us to forecast right now. But let's talk about it anyway. Let's see what's going to happen here. Temperature 80 degrees here at the forecast center, 81 at Fort Lauderdale. Humidity's up there, still feels like 85. The rain didn't do much for cooling us down. Winds are calm, and we only registered 9 100ths, but it poured down really fast. 93 is our high temperature today. That was responsible for some of the storminess, 74 to low. Nowhere near that record of 97 set back in 1992, and that was good. Now let's have a look at what happened again today. Thunderstorms forming along the sea breeze, pretty typical, come together, then they go right through town along that sea breeze. The upper level winds are blowing the storms this way, but this storm decided to go this way. Really hard to forecast. We can tell you that there are going to be some storms around tomorrow scattered around the area. Where one forms, more may form around it, so just be prepared, but it looks like we'll see a lot of sun also. Out in the tropics, good news. This guy right here, a tropical depression and dying off even more. This is once Tropical Storm Ana, but you can see the bright colored areas where the big thunderstorms are. There's not that many of them now, and it looks like the strong upper level winds are shearing that apart, and also it's moving across some fairly cold waters. 37.4 north right now, 65.6 if you're plotting it. 30-mile-per-hour winds. The pressure hasn't changed much, but right now it's 450 miles south of Nova Scotia, Canada. So that thing is just moving way off to the north, and I don't believe it's going to affect the continental United States. And the reason for that, this is what we're watching here. Upper-level winds blowing right into the storm and just shearing it apart. And hurricanes or any tropical weather do not like wind shear, and that's what we're looking at here. This is our projected path, pushing it way off to the northeast, and we don't expect to see much more of that storm anytime soon. A quick look at our high temperatures, though. 111 in Phoenix, 82 in New York City, 93 in Atlanta. Tomorrow, what's the forecast? Well, let's check it out here. Warm and humid tonight, only a light breeze, 76 for your low temp. Tomorrow, hot again, more afternoon and evening storms, 93 for your high temp, so watch out for the storms out there, especially lightning. Tomorrow, winds out of southwest to south at 10, near 2-foot seasonal light chop in the bay. And the rest of your forecast for the weekend, more of the same, unfortunately. And back to you.
It sounds safe, Joe. Thanks very much. Let's take a quick look ahead now to tomorrow. Here's what you'll see on News 4 this morning.
Coming up tomorrow on News 4 this morning, we'll have all the news you missed while you were sleeping.
An important warning for pet owners as they celebrate the 4th of July, and our garden expert has some tips for you if you're shopping for some indoor plants.
Plus, we'll have your 4th of July holiday weekend weather.
Join us beginning at 5:30 a.m.
But still ahead tonight, a big surprise is announced at Wimbledon today. Jim Barry will let us all in on the big secret. And the Marlins take on the Big Apple. See the highlights next in sports.
Welcome to your Florida Lottery Fantasy 5 game for Thursday, July 3rd, 1997. Match all 5 numbers and win thousands and thousands of dollars. Elisa Burns selects tonight's Fantasy 5 numbers. The first number is 5. The second number is 24. The third number is 10. The fourth number is 15. And the last number is 11. Want to see some real fireworks? Stop by your Florida Lottery retailer and get your Firecracker 2 scratch-off tickets while they're hot. You could win up to $10,000. Match the winning numbers or symbols and win instantly. Firecracker 2 from the Florida Lottery. Hotter than the 4th of July. All drawings supervised by Lottery Security, certified by Moore Stevens, Lovelace Roby. Tonight's Fantasy 5 numbers 5, 24, 10, 15, and 11. Good night, and good luck, Florida.
Jim Barry tells me the Marlins are on the road, and they took their bats with them this time.
You took the words right out of my mouth, and the Marlins have not been hitting a lick, but if they keep playing the Mets, you know what? That could change. At Shea tonight, we might have seen the awakening. Met fans preferred reading the home section instead of watching the home team. First inning, Kurt Abbott up, ripping a triple to right. Here comes Jim Eisenreich, and here comes Gary Sheffield right behind him as the Mets bobble it. Pitcher Livan Hernandez says, even I can hit Met pitching. Boom, there it is. 4-0 Marlins in the first. They blow it open in the second with 4 more, and here's a good sign. Jeff Conine connecting. He has 3 hits, including this 2-run shot. Marlins coast tonight 10-4. In Montreal, a little sushi with your hot dog? Ew. Braves make sushi of the Expos. Ryan Klesko clocks one, and Vladimir Guerrero plays the butcher. The Braves are good enough. They don't need this kind of help at all. Atlanta keeps winning 2, crushing Montreal 15-2. Well, the fan behind these cool dark shades sees the Brewers do a not-so-cool thing. Brewers pitcher Jeff D'Amica is 6'7". It's really hard to overthrow this big guy, but catcher Kelly Stennett manages somehow. Paul Molitor takes off alertly, and he is in there. Twins win 8-5, leaving Milwaukee's Phil Garner in a daze. Well, at Wimbledon, Boom Boom says bye-bye. A sound whipping by Pete Sampras sends Boris Becker into semi-retirement. Maybe Boris contemplated his stunning announcement during this brief rain delay. Becker says he is done playing Wimbledon and other Grand Slams after this year. His 29-year-old dive, not quite what it was when he was 17. Now, Becker can still play, but he doesn't have young Sampras' legs that can run everything down. Ooh, Boris bows out of Wimbledon forever and ever. The 3-time champ offers a very honest explanation.
First of all, I think it's a very good moment right now. I just don't feel I have it anymore, what it takes to win a Grand Slam.
So he's going to chill. The former Prez and the First Lady were chilling at center court for the showdown of Sweet 16s. Martina Hingis and Anna Kournikova are the same age, but not in tennis years. Martina just too good for her. She wins easily. Meantime, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario finds that spunk not enough against Jana Novotná. Novotná all over the net. Beats Arantxa, and she'll be good comp for Hingis in the Wimbledon ladies final. Hey, I dropped in on Golden Panther Arena tonight, and look who the rain blew in. It's the one and only Howard Schnellenberger. You see, he wants to be the Golden Panthers' new athletic director. The man who helped put UM football on the map says he is intrigued with trying to grow another winner, and he thinks the Golden Panthers offer a golden chance.
Intrigues me is the fact that we could make a difference here, that with hard work by a lot of people over a period of time, I think this program can develop into something that South Florida, the state of Florida, and hopefully the nation would be proud of.
Especially with you, the boss, right, Howard? Anyway, we'll hear more of what Howard has to say about his football career and possible FIU future on Jim Barry's Sports Sunday this Sunday. Finally, like Mike Tyson, John McEnroe bit off a few ears when he played tennis, and he is still getting commercial mileage out of the bad boy image.
Ah, Wimbledon, granddaddy of them all. I'll never forget that epic tiebreaker I played in '82.
80.
When I won that first set 6-love.
6-1.
And then I took the second set.
You lost that
That's
set.
it!
Every time I try to do something like this, these people mess things up. You sit down, big guy. It's all here. You lost the third set. You lost the match. I don't know what you were thinking.
Cute.
That.
Selective memory.
That's right. We all have that.
Okay, Jim, thanks very much.
All right, Ann.
Still ahead, Fight Night is turning into Fright Night from Mike Tyson. See how Iron Mike's infamous bite has landed him in an all-new Hall of Fame. That's next. But first, here's a look at tonight's winning cash 3 numbers, 1, 8, and 2. And the play 4 numbers. Interesting, 9, 9, 8, and 9. Back in a minute. And finally, tonight, Mike Tyson is facing yet more fallout from Bite Night. In fact, he's on the move at the Hollywood Wax Museum. He's gone from the Hall of Fame to the Chamber of Horrors. And yes, in the shadow of Mike's waxy figure, what else? An ear. He's in bad company in this new neighborhood, too, next to Hannibal the Cannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs. Imagine a bout between these two. Yikes. That is News 4 tonight. We do thank you for being here. And remember, if you see news in the making, please give us a call. In Dade, call our news hotline at 477-2444. And in Broward, call 463-NEWS. On your cell phone, it is free call on Bell South Mobility at Star TV 4. The Late Show with David Letterman is coming up next. Evander Holyfield, I believe, is on that show. I'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Enjoy your holiday. Have a good night.